Hi, this is Guy Barker here. Welcome to Herbi.org. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the topic of writing words in the Herbi Writer handwriting development software. A few years ago, when I first built Herbi Writer, I used the tablet PC's built-in handwriting recognition feature. And that feature is a great technology, but I got told by an OT that basically what I'd done wasn't sufficient to help her students develop their handwriting skills. And the problem was that while the recognition feature could say whether a student's A looked like an A, I was told that it's also very important how the letter was formed, and the handwriting recognition feature didn't really care how it was formed as long as the end result looked like an A. So I scrapped the use of that, and I spent a while working on my own ink stroke evaluation algorithm. So I tried to use a number of metrics to determine whether the student's letter was actually formed in a similar way to how the sample letter was formed. So for example, we have an A here, so if I write A, oops, try that again, A, okay, Herbi Writer said that was correct. Now here we have an L. Now I'm deliberately going to write the L to look like an L, but form it from bottom to top rather than top to bottom. Okay, Herbi Writer said that wasn't correct. So one of the nice things about the ink stroke evaluation algorithm that I created was that it's not specific to letters. It's really to do with any shaped ink stroke. So for example, if I were to change from the lowercase set of letters, which we have showing here, to a set such as numbers, there's the number 4. I'll form that in a similar way to how Herbi Writer expects. Herbi thinks that's correct. Now I'll do the 2 backwards, and Herbi said that was wrong, and of course Herbi didn't smile. And you might notice that I've got it set up to have sounds output that I added myself.
Great job.
You can have whatever phrases you want spoken when the letter is evaluated to be correct. Okay, and similar, if your students haven't progressed to numbers and letters yet, you can also have shapes. That's a vertical line, and there's a background you can set.
Great job.
Which makes this easier. So if I go to Settings, Customize, Browse, what should we have? How about the background 96? There we go.
Cool. Great job.
Okay. So then the obvious question is, well, why can't it do words as well? And I did an experiment with that to try out words. So if I go to Settings again, and I'll change the background to, oops, I'll change the background to the 3 line, and I'll go for cursive words. And this just contains a few entries of apple, book, cat, dog and house. So I'm going to try and write out apple here. Now,
nice work.
Herbi Writer said that was correct. Now at the moment the setting is on beginner, and beginner really is aimed at encouraging students to want to use the technology. So Herbi Writer is very lenient in beginner. You can write something that doesn't really look much like the sample and still have it evaluated as correct. Once the student is more familiar and comfortable with the technology, you could then change the settings to be something a little less lenient, or a lot less lenient in fact, such as intermediate. So I'll try that again. In fact, Herbi still said that was correct, so I'll try something that's, I'll deliberately make this a bit wider than the sample. And Herbi did not accept that as correct. And I think the reason is here is that my word is actually a fair bit wider than the sample. And I'll try that again, but I'll actually try and do it as close to the sample as I can.
Good job.
Yeah, Herbi Writer said that's correct. So in fact it's actually working for me fairly well here. I bet it won't for house, because that's quite a wide word. Yeah, see, Herbi didn't accept that as correct, when in fact it really was fairly close to the sample. And again, and I think I do need to improve the ink stroke evaluation algorithms are created for Herbi Writer before it will work well with words. It is very difficult for a student to write very, very closely to such a long ink stroke. One thing that might make it a little bit simpler is if I go to trace mode. It's going to be more practical for me to trace over this. Oops. Exactly as I seem to be having trouble here. I think I might be pushing the button on the side of the pen as I'm writing, so that's going to be a problem.
Nice work.
Yeah, so it was easier for me to actually trace out the letter than try and write it at a distance from the sample. Okay, so I have had quite a bit of feedback from people saying that they would be interested in words in Herbi Writer. So I think it's reached a point where I should invest some time looking at how to make the evaluation of words work satisfactorily. So I will look into that. I do thank everyone who's actually inquired about that. And incidentally, if you would like to experiment with this yourself, you can actually add your own words using the customize letter set feature. So at the top of Herbi Writer here it says showing cursive words. I'm going to go to the advanced settings and I'm going to say let's say add letter. It does say cursive words here, so I'm going to work only with the cursive word set. Add letter. In fact, actually let me create my own letter set. So I'll say add letter set. I'm going to call it my words. Create. Okay, now I'm going to customize the apple. So say I want apple to look, so I could even make it look printed. A-P-P-L-E. And then say apply. Okay, I'll close that. Now if I go to, yep, no, that's what my word looks like now. I'm going to try and draw that out. I'm still in intermediate mode. I think the pen might be slightly lifting off the screen as I'm writing. So there we go. Oops. I'm going to try this again, and I'm going to deliberately make things a bit wider. Yeah, it didn't accept that.
Great job.
Yeah, accepted that. So for some students, you might find the feature for working with words actually is sufficient already, but I will look into improving it in the future. And incidentally, I'm using an HP Touch Smart laptop here, which comes with a stylus that you can write with the screen at. Again, I push the button there. Okay, so thanks very much for everybody who's contacted me about this, and I'll let you know when I have an update.